Thank you for taking this interview. Do you believe that historically black colleges and universities are relevant today?
I do believe that historically black colleges are relevant today because they are leading the industry with technology. They're teaching in different ways. They don't just relate to students just by lecturing this, that, and other. They actually get to know you, get to know your name. They actually know who you are. If they see you walking around campus, they'll be able to call you by your name and speak to you. They actually care for you and they care about what they're teaching you.
Okay. So, why did you attend an HBCU?
Well, I attended a HBCU because basically in my family, all of my parents and my parents' parents have came to Jackson State, and basically I just wanted to keep the legacy going.
So, you say you want to keep the legacy going. Let's talk about some of the things that have happened here on campus that may have not happened when your family was here. More to say, some of the things that have been added to campus.
When I actually my freshman year when I first came here and I brought my family with me, they were talking about buildings and dorms and etc. that wasn't here when they went here. They were saying how the plaza used to be Lynch Street and not the plaza. And they were saying, the new student center that wasn't there. Um, Campbell Suites wasn't there. It was just basically it used to be a parking lot. Um, just new buildings and have matriculated the number of students here to 10,000. When they was here, they said that there was only probably about 3 to 5 somewhere in there.
Mhm. So, I know that there are new buildings on campus now, speaking in reference to like the student center. So, what are some things in the student center that attract students the most?
Um, the food basically.
Hmm.
You don't go in the student center really, other than unless you're in trouble with the student engagement center up on the third floor. But no one really gets in trouble. But you basically go in there for the food. Chick-fil-A, Pizza Hut, the Walter Payton, and it's another little Briscoe type of place.
So, I'm glad you actually mentioned food. So, let's talk food. What are besides the names? What do some of those places serve that are in the student center?
With Pizza Hut, of course, is pizza and fried hot wings, that are tossed in hot sauce, basically. They sell breadsticks and cinnamon sticks. The Walter Payton place, it sells like soul food, macaroni and cheese, cornbread, a meat of the day, like such as ribs or fried catfish, fried chicken. And then the little bistro place, it kind of sells, I would say anything that can be cooked on the grill, such as hamburgers, hot dogs, Philly cheesesteak, anything of that nature. And we have the um, Chick-fil-A, which basically sells everything fried in grease because they don't really, it's not a full Chick-fil-A, so they don't have like all the baked stuff. It's just more like just the fried stuff, the stuff that they can cook, real fast. And going back to the bistro place, they do have nachos too. Um, their nachos, they normally is just the beef or the chicken, and it's like the little little red seasoning that they put on it, and it's actually good. But yeah.
So, other than that, in the student center, I heard you mention a lot of fried options and a lot of grilling and a lot of grease. So, do they serve or have a section anywhere for anything that's healthy?
Yeah, they have the salad bar, but normally the stuff in there, the salad, you can tell it's starting to brown on the end of it. It's been sitting out there too long, basically. They really don't change it and keep it up to date. And the stuff that's on the bar is disgusting.
So, you think because of what you just said, that's maybe why students don't actually go to the salad bar, or do you see students going to the salad bar?
Students go and they look, and like I said, they see the little brown leaves, that then browned on the edges, and that is like the main problem that turns students away from it. It's just disgusting.
Okay. Do you ever notice maybe faculty and staff going to the salad bar, or do they also kind of push that away and just go to the other options that may not be as healthy?
The staff normally goes, they'll go and look like the students, and then they'll see the same stuff, and they'll just settle for something less rather than a salad bar. And honestly, with the salad, it costs just as much or more than some unhealthy food choices. So it's kind of like you weighing your options.
Mhm. So let's talk about. I know we talked about the student center and some of the food options that they have. Let's move on to the calf. Do you actually go and eat at the calf here on campus?
I have been in the calf my junior year probably about 10 times at the most.
Mhm.
Um, the calf, it's under new management by Sodexo Magic. And I can say they have been doing better, like with actually having fresh food and having food out there.
Mhm.
Um, as far as their salad bar, it's more extensive than the salad bar that's in the Legacy. It actually has more things, like it has fruits, vegetables, peaches, all of that. Just a bunch of salad toppings, and it's actually kept a little better than the bar that's in the Legacy.
So, as a student, what would you actually prefer? Going to the Legacy or going to the calf as far as you wanting something healthy?
I would definitely go to the calf just because the simple fact that the calf is already in my tuition. It's basically free. And in the legacy, like I said, it's not free. Jackson State provides us with Tiger books, but however, it's still better to eat in the calf when it comes to eating healthier because they actually have the salad bar, and then they will actually have like an entree of the day as long as it's not Wednesday or Friday, because on Wednesdays and Friday it's fried chicken or fried fish day, and of course that's not healthy. Anything's fried isn't healthy.
Okay, so you mentioned tuition. What do you see the most popular place that students want to eat at on campus? Would it be the Legacy or would it actually be the calf?
Well, it would actually be, we have this place called Burger King.
Hmm.
Um, it would be Burger King because it actually stays open late, like later than the calf and later than the Legacy. And I guess for college students, that's like the best time that we eat, like late at night. And the Burger King, it stays open till like 12.
Okay, so you mentioned basically time. Do you think students would eat more at the calf or the Legacy if they stayed open later, like similar to Burger King?
I do believe that it would take some of the competition from Burger King because Burger King right now is the only thing that's open past say 8 o'clock. It's only thing you have to choose from is Burger King unless you go off campus or something. So for the students that don't have cars, it's like basically this is my last resort for tonight, so I better eat it before it closes.
So, with it being last result, do you think Burger King has healthy options here on campus that students can actually indulge in and not feel bad about it? Because it's already bad when you say that the students are eating late. So, on top of eating late, eating unhealthy, or do they provide healthier choices for students?
Burger King does not provide a healthy choice on their menu, period.
Mm.
Only thing that they sell really, and it's a big seller, is of course their French fries, which is fried. Their ice cream at night, which is not good, and burgers that are really not made out of beef. They're made out of mostly like 5% beef and 95% filler.
Mm. Okay. So, what do you feel are some of the challenges of attending an HBCU?
Some of the challenges of attending the HBCU would be one of the big things at Jackson State that just happened last semester at the beginning of my junior year was with the housing situation. Basically, HBCUs are not getting the funds that they need from the government and or from the state.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the biggest problems is if you're trying to expand your university like Jackson State and get more numbers and more students, there's really no one in your corner trying to help you and actually, put the funds down that you need for you to actually be a thriving university.
So let's speak on expansion. So here we have a housing issue. So you say, and so you want the housing issue to be fixed, and you want more students to be able to come to Jackson State. So speaking what you've already spoke on as far as students and the food, if there was more students here, do you think that Burger King's competition, the CAF and the Legacy, would have to result in staying open late so students can actually eat there?
I think if we had more students here, we would have more than just the Burger King and the CAF and the Legacy. Um, I believe what Jackson State is pushing for is to get more students and to actually transform the environment around the school and make it business friendly, make it where businesses actually would want to come to this area of Jackson or want to come to Jackson, period, to open new businesses. That's basically what we gonna have to amount to is people actually like transforming the area around Jackson State to a business friendly area and not into an area that they think that they'll get robbed every time or they can't stay open past nightfall because they're going to get robbed. So basically we have to transform the community around Jackson State for Jackson State to thrive.
So, you speak about the community. Can you tell me a little bit more about where Jackson State is located, as far as bringing businesses? What are some things about the actual location?
Jackson State is located downtown Jackson, which nothing is going on downtown Jackson. Everything is shut down, empty buildings. And in the neighborhoods around Jackson State, you have like Washington Edition, a bunch of lower class neighborhoods, um, and you really can't blame them that's in the neighborhood because like the school system is failing in Jackson. The economy, you don't have people that have jobs with money, so of course the economy is failing. So therefore, everything is going to fail.
Mm-hmm. So, moving on to things that are still around Jackson. what are some of the food options around Jackson State?
I would say around Jackson State
Yeah,
and
maybe in at least walking distance for students, like you said. Some students don't have vehicles to travel, or some students don't have transportation to far places.
okay, I would say Boston's the Chicago style kind of like food truck. It's a place on Valley Street actually called Valley Street Fish House. Um, on campus, kind of like right beside campus, real close to campus, we have Wild Wings and Subway. Um, and Stamps Burger is like kind of right behind Wild Wings, off to the right.
Okay, can you describe some of the things that they serve at those places?
Stamp Burger, they sell like it's a place that you can actually go and get like a so-called real soul hamburger. Like it's a big pound burger and it's dripping with grease when you get it. They put bacon, whatever you want on it, they'll put on it for you. Wild Wings is basically a fried hot wing type of place. They sell French fries, but they do have like a little salad or like you can get a veggie burger or something from there.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that's about it for them. Valley Street, it's a fried fish, fried everything. That's along with Boston. It's fried chicken, fried fish, fried everything. Um, basically everything's fried. When you're in Mississippi, we've come to the point that we start frying Oreos. So everything's fried.
Um, are students familiar with those places that are around the campus? And if they are familiar with them, do they actually choose to go to those options?
Students are familiar with them, and they do actually go to the options. The big place that they go to is Boston's. Boston's make a killer just from Jackson State students. They actually have bought the lot across from them just for more parking because it is an order. You know, you have to call in your order or you go in and order. So it's like cook to order type of place. But the sauce that they have many sauces that you can choose from, like hot sauce, or you can do barbecue, or you can have lemon pepper. But really, Jackson State students go over there for it. It's called a honey sauce, and it's very sweet. Like if you eat too much of it, you'll have a headache all night, and it'll keep you up because it's so sweet. And they put the sauce all over your French fries, all over your chicken or your fish, whatever you want to do with it, they'll do it for you. But once again, it's all fried.
So, with those options being very unhealthy, but those are the options that students have around campus, I guess my question would be, what is something that you suggest Jackson State could do? Do you think they should invest in more healthier options for students who might not want to eat unhealthy all the time?
Well, I feel like Jackson State shouldn't invest in anything but our education. But however, I feel that a Jackson State alumni or an entrepreneur or anybody should invest in the students themselves because, like you said, there is no healthy place to eat around here, honestly. Like, there is no healthy choice. Everything is fried or everything is bread. Everything is basically unhealthy.
Do you think the government, federal, state, and local, does enough to preserve and encourage HBCUs, especially when it comes to being healthy?
I think the government tries to do things, but however, if you really know about Mississippi, we are a Republican ran state, and right now with our government, they will try and send the funds, but it's up to our governor to accept the funds. So they can send all the money that they want, but our governor has to accept it so we can apply for it and get the money. And right now, our governor blocks everything or anything for a HBCU. He is him, basically.
Okay. So, with you speaking as far as the government blocking out HBCUs, have you ever visited a predominantly white institution?
Yes, I've visited Southern Miss, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State.
Okay, so since we're talking about some healthy options for students, when you visited those places, did those places present actual healthy options for their students? Let's speak on University of Southern Mississippi first.
Well, I think just with colleges, period, and when people are thinking about places to put around colleges, it's really college students are really not interested in healthy food. They're really interested in whatever they can get to basically whatever we can get our hands on to satisfy our hunger and whatever is fast. We need something that we can get in and out and move on to whatever else that we have to do. Eating healthy is really not a priority for college students, honestly. We just trying to get something that can satisfy our hunger and can move us on down the street.
Mhm. So you're saying pretty much college students don't really care about how healthy an option is. They just pretty much we just want to eat and we just want to go on about our day.
Basically, I mean, you have some students that really are health conscious, but however, with those students, like I said, we should have something that we can go because, like, when you say healthy options, basically you're talking about any type of fish, any type of baked fish. You're talking about any type of baked chicken. You're talking about salads. You're talking about healthy protein bars and stuff like that. When you're talking about stuff like that and you mention a college student, the normal college student is broke. All those things that you're considered to be healthy normally cost a good penny. So therefore, really, when you're in college, you're just trying to eat the bare minimum to keep you moving.
So do you think eating the bare minimum is, as I said before, do you think that's healthy even though this is what you're saying that students are faced with? This is what students are going through. They don't have money. And I know that the CAF is in your tuition, like you said earlier. So do you think by them just eating the bare minimum because the CAF closes early or because the CAF is not to students' liking that that's actually healthier than at least trying to sit for a moment and actually indulge in an actual meal?
I definitely don't think that eating just to get by is a healthy idea or a good idea. I do believe that college students should make time to actually sit down and eat a healthy meal at least once a day, at least once. But however, once again, time is a virtue when you're in college. Like that is your biggest thing, time management. When somebody's going to college, you can forget about anything else and just focus on time management. That's how you make it through college. Um, your time management. You might want to go to a party, but you gotta eat, or you might want to go to the club, but you got homework. Time management is the biggest thing, and that's why I believe that fast foods like succeed is and so successful around colleges because it's quick. It's something that you can grab on it, eat, and continue doing your homework. It's not something that you have to sit down and cut up your baked tilapia or sit down and cut up your baked fish and eat it with your broccoli or whatever you want to do. It's something that you can just stop at McDonald's and say, hey, let me get a hamburger and French fries for $5. Actually, you can get a McDouble meal for $5 with a large sweet tea, and you can still be moving and doing your homework instead of going somewhere and sitting down and actually eating and getting a bill for probably about $14, $15.
Mm. Does the culture and environment in historically black colleges and universities encourage healthy lifestyles?
Um, I would say no because when you come to college, well, definitely when you come to a historically black institution, the biggest thing that you will hear about is fried chicken day and fried fish day. Whatever 2 days that is at any institution, those are the biggest days that professors, students, the president even come down and come to the calf.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say no because, and just honestly, black people as a whole, we really don't eat that well anyway. So it's really
So you think it's could also be a racial thing that we don't really
I
partake in it
I
being healthy?
I definitely think it's a racial thing because um our grandmother, black people grandmother, they normally have soul food set out on Sunday. You have the greens, the fried chicken, the fried fish, the macaroni, the cornbread, the pork chops. They have it all set out, but nothing in there said anything about baked tilapia or baked chicken. Something that's actually healthy for you. So, I believe that your eating habits from when you were younger, before you even got to college, basically plays a big role within the HBCU experience once you do get to college, because you're still looking for that big family dinner in the calf.
Mm-hmm. So you comparing the two, comparing predominantly white institutions or PWIs with HBCUs, you think maybe their options might be a little more healthier, or they might actually take the time to eat a meal because that's pretty much not how they were brought up. They weren't really brought up, as we'll say, they probably weren't brought up as, like you said, with the big soul food Sunday dinner. So do you think that plays a role in how they choose what they can eat and the options that they have at PWIs versus the options that we have at HBCUs or at Jackson State alone?
I think the options around PWI center from people that put money back into their college, basically entrepreneurs that's around the area that want to open up a Raising Canes or a Subway or a Biaggi's or anything like that. With
Okay.
Jackson State, you have to look at it like, once again, the area around it is not all that awesome. And however, like when you talk about other colleges such as Mississippi State, Ole Miss, or Hattiesburg, USM, those are basically college towns. Those towns are basically ran by the college. Honestly, everything centers around the college. With Jackson, it's like the capital of Mississippi. It's not really just centered around Jackson State. So there's really not room around the outside just for an entrepreneur to be like, hey, I'm gonna put my Subway right here, or hey, I'm gonna put my Biaggi's, or hey, I'm gonna put something healthy right here for them to eat, because it's just not empty space around Jackson State. It's a bunch of houses and people actually living and owning that land.
Okay. What have been your experiences thus far, and what are some of your most positive experiences while attending HBCU?
Some of my most positive experiences while being here at Jackson State, I would say, interacting with students and people that look like me that actually, they're not people from the gutter. They're not people that, don't have any goals or anything. There are people that actually are here that are trying to uplift themselves and live up to the expectations of the world.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that actually have, like I said, goals and reaching for the stars. They're not mediocre students, because we do not accept mediocre students here at Jackson State University.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are just courageous.
Mm-hmm.
There are people of character. There are people of color.
Okay. Do you are there any questions that I can answer for you at this time?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your participation.
You're welcome.